your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. Your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? The Con Man, and I'm in your house. We're here. We're ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits, because we're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That's right. You already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, we are back once again. We're here. Normally, we're not here hitting you with the episode on a Saturday night, but we are this time. We usually give you guys an episode on Friday, but you know what? We just decided that with timing and everything, it was just better for us to just kind of mash our episodes up. So this is going to be a really, really fun episode. I'm excited about it because we're going to talk SmackDown, but we're also going to have our ECW Watch Along. And usually when I have my ECW Watch Alongs, that means I have to bring in my co-host for that one. And that is, of course, the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, man?
How goes it? It is I, the voice, Joshua Joseph, here for another ECW Watch Along mixed with a little Grun's room.
Yes.
That's fun. That's always fun. So we're going to have a lot of people coming in. Household, I'm glad you're here. Window lickers. Your windows have never looked cleaner.
Most definitely. And you talked about we're about to be doing this episode in Grun's room. We can't be in Grun's room without Grun, man. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. We got to bring him in here right now. And that is, of course, our guy, the Grunmeister, as voice calls him, the blue-eyed villain, coming back to In Your House. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? What's up? I was feeling sick most of this week.
Yeah.
Glad to say I'm feeling a lot better.
Great.
Take Dayquil. Dayquil's fucking awesome.
Yes, man. Yes, we're great. We're glad to have you back on the show, man. And not just on the show, because usually when you're doing your thing, you're in your room, you are just talking a little SmackDown, and you're doing it on your own with all your followers there that are following you and checking you out and whatnot. But this week you were pulling you in. We're kind of intertwining between each other right now, because not only are we going to be talking SmackDown, we're going to be doing an ECW Watch Along. And I can't do an ECW Watch Along. It's not right unless I sit up here and play our ECW theme, because we have to do it right now. Most definitely, it is time. It's the ECW Watch Along, baby. Yeah!
We are back and ready to strike. This is our moment, our time to shine.
Yeah!
Hear the shout. In this ring, there's no way out.
Hope y'all ready. He's about to get extreme.
Suicidal if you
He's about to get extreme.
survive if I let you try me.
ECW.
ECW, can you feel the heat? This is our house, we can't be beat. Hear the chants as tables split. This ECW crowd always lit.
Get the ECW sons of bitches. We're about to get extreme. We're about to talk a little ECW. We're about to talk a little SmackDown. We're tearing Grun's room up right now. Here we go. Here comes the bitches. Come here.
Ring that bell, hear the clang. Our anthem loud,
Every
it's hear
single
the
time
bang.
that we have our ECW Watch Along, we gotta play that awesome theme. We have to bring it up because it's badass.
Oh, yeah.
Robots know what they're doing.
Yeah, they most definitely do, man.
Unfortunately.
So, hey, they got it.
They nailed that one.
Hey,
I can't
At least
really
that one,
complain.
they most definitely got it.
Humanity, we need to keep AI as a tool and as a toy. We cannot let it start doing things for us. Okay? Come on. Everyone's seen Terminator. If you haven't, you got to see it. Okay? That tells you.
Yeah,
That tells you
yeah,
the
you got to
evils
watch
of AI.
Terminator.
Yeah.
It's not
They
wrong.
still make dope shit, though, man.
I mean,
Like,
they do.
I understand
They
the
do.
robot aspect, but it's pretty cool.
Let's keep it at advanced intelligence. Let's not make it artificial.
Anymore.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm
I
with
got
you.
you.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I saw Terminator.
Yeah.
So we had that Friday night off, and I was feeling a little under the weather myself, so I was just kind of chilling out. And we watched SmackDown. Of course, SmackDown, great show. We're definitely going to talk about it. But after SmackDown, man, I was just kind of chilling out, just relaxing. And I remember that the Rick and Morty anime was they just dropped their first episode this past Sunday, and I was like, you know what? I like Rick and Morty. I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. I've watched like every episode and probably multiple times. Multiple times.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me check out what they're doing with this anime. And damn it, I gotta tell you, if it wasn't the most loopiest, craziest, what the fuck shit, I'm like, what is going on here? I don't know if you guys checked it out, but I was like, whoa, what are we doing?
So I've definitely not seen the anime. I've seen the cartoon of the show, and saw a post somewhere saying that anime nowadays it's just trying to out weird whatever anime was just released. Like, they went that weird with that anime. Let's see how we can go weirder. I don't know. Some guy just trains really hard and becomes strong like a god. We'll call him One Hit Man. One Punch Man.
Yeah, One Punch Man. Yep.
One Punch Man.
I
mean, I watched it, and I know where you're going, Grun. I feel you. It does seem that way because I went from Dragon Ball Z back as a kid to, you waited like 3 weeks for one fight to end in Dragon Ball Z.
God.
But it was so
But,
gripping and still.
Yeah, it was so good.
Compelling.
Yeah, and then we got Liquid Television, things like that. They had Eon Flux, which was like the just craziness of Eon Flux. I mean, follow the story of that if you're a fan. But Rick and Morty, their anime, to me, it's given me like I said before, this Quentin Tarantino vibe. Like we're getting the ending and the result of a story before we get the story itself. So now I feel they might play out a story, like tell us why. Why is Summer just sitting in a chair, just looking at things? That doesn't seem anything like Summer. Rick, he did a couple things where he was able to use some of his gadgets to change things, but we're used to Rick using gadgets to just walk and take a piss to another room, you know?
Yeah.
And I understand anime is more directional when at least my understanding of anime, when they go and tell a story, they try to really tell a story. And but I know where Grun's going because I have a daughter who watches anime, and they try to weird each other out. Like it's like a competition on how much further can we push the envelope. I mean, it's a cartoon. At the end of the day, they're just cartoons.
So like I was like, I'm with you, man. I came up on Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho and also I was big on Cowboy Bebop. Bebop.
I remember Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
that one I missed.
The Cowboy Bebop. It's short, but it's very, very, very good. It's actually like considered top tier like anime amongst a lot of like people who enjoy that, and critiquing and stuff like that. Like I said, not long. It also has a movie as well, but Cowboy Bebop is just really, really good if you just like. So basically, it's some like. What are they like? Space? Like, I don't want to say bandits. They're bounty hunters. Bounty hunters.
Yeah, bounty hunters.
They pick up bounties, and Spike, he's got like a whole checkered past and whatnot. And then they pick up this chick. I think it's like Faye Valentine, and she's like actually an old woman in a young woman's body. Like it's a whole weird thing, but it's good though. It's really like. So there's that one. And then, like I said, Dragon Ball, like Voice was saying, like it was very, I mean, I remember Dragon Ball before Z, like you just Dragon, when Goku was, a young kid and what.
Yeah.
Like so, like I've been watching it since then, and that has been like a build throughout all these years. In fact, it's still going, and like I just don't know like if animes are even doing that anymore. Like what's the hot anime amongst the kids right now? I honestly couldn't even tell you.
Attack on Titans, if that's still on.
I've heard of that one.
That one was
I
really
don't
good though.
Don't kids?
Yeah.
I think the kids are watching like this. Is it Demon Slayer?
Yeah,
I think
that's the one
yeah.
I was trying to figure out in my head. That's
the one?
my daughter's like huge into Demon Slayer.
Yeah, that's another one. And there's a couple other ones like I don't know if
I think
the kids
Naruto's still going.
It's still
Yeah,
going.
it
Yeah.
is.
I don't know if the kids are watching Bleach anymore. Do you guys remember Bleach?
No.
I didn't watch Bleach,
Didn't
but
watch Bleach?
I know of it.
Okay, so are you guys Adult Swim babies like me?
Yo,
Sort of. I'm more of a Toonami baby.
Okay, Toonami
okay.
worked. Okay, no Toonami. Yep, it's all part of it's. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, no doubt. Yeah, Toonami was great. I mean, I got my good mix of and this is what I really enjoyed about Adult Swim. It was the cool animes, and then it was just the dumbass cartoons like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Super Jail or Moral Oral and shit like that. Like they just had like, oh man, like they had some crazy shit like Robot Chicken, of course, which was a staple on Adult Swim, you know, Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, that's
you
such
know?
a good one.
That's so
I
good.
love Space
The
Ghost.
Brack Show.
Brack Show was hilarious. He made up so many great songs.
Yeah.
I did just think of an anime that I only watched for the first time like earlier this year from I think it was 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Death Note.
Oh,
yeah, Death Note. Yeah.
I saw that earlier this year. I'm like, how is this not the fucking best anime of all time?
It's a good one.
That one
Yeah.
is-
A lot of people enjoy that, bro. A lot of people enjoy that.
That was incredible.
So it was cool, man, getting a little dive back into anime through Rick and Morty. Like I said, like I still enjoy really the regular Rick and Morty episode so far. I mean, it's just been one episode, but like I just like the nonsensical bullshit and you know that Rick and Morty bring you the you know multi-dimensional stuff. And it's like we were saying before the show, even though you'll have your weird random shit like you know, Mr. Always Wants to Be Hunted or Poopy Butthole or you know, Mr. Poopy Butthole or something like that. And like you'll have
Birdman.
You'll have him, and there's like just random stuff, man, and like you have your interdimensional cable, and then Morty's mind blowers. But still, like we were saying, it still follows a story with Rick and Morty, with you know Rick trying to find Rick Prime, who you know killed his wife in every single dimension imaginable, so he could never find her. You know, and like that was a big story arc for a long time, and like. I really feel like they, at the end of the last season, they tied that up, and now they're kind of like, dang, where do we go with this whole thing now? Because Rick has no purpose anymore, really, you know, like his whole purpose, he did it, he achieved it, he killed the guy who killed his wife, but he's not getting his wife back. So like, where do you go from there? Like, I don't know. So maybe this was a pivot for the anime. I don't really know. I think you made some good points, Voice, with like, they're trying to move in a different direction, you know, possibly with everything going on with the writers and stuff. But, you know, we'll see how the second episode is. I just wanted to sit down and watch it and check it out and see what it was about. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's important for us to do that when a show that, oh, look who jumped into the old chat.
Lou.
How goes it, my
Lou.
friend? Everybody go out there and check out the Lou when he goes live. He was live last night for some Friday fun. We had a good little time there. I got abducted by Call of Duty people, so that was cool. So I had to bounce out of that because, you know, getting shot by 13-year-olds telling you that they're cooler than you, and you're like, dude, you're about to go to bed. Like your mom's yelling at you right now. Shut up. I'm still up for another hour, and then your wife goes, hey, come to bed now. And, you know, you get
damn.
But, you know, you move past it. You move past it. You move past it.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I don't tell me these kids out here is getting their Xbox Live chat on and whatnot. Like I know you remember those chats from like 2007, 2008.
Dude. Oh, it
Well,
was crazy.
they're still there. They're just hiding.
And
That's the only thing they can do.
dude, last night,
Everybody was banging everybody's mom in 2008
Yep.
Xbox Live chat.
dude, last night these two ladies decided to have a political discussion on the overall
no.
chat.
Oh,
my
Oh
goodness.
boy.
That was
That went-
I actually interjected because sometimes I just keep the mic just away and off
Yeah.
and just listen. I had to interject and I'm like, hey guys, come on, it's going a little too far now. They were like, well, I guess we'll just take this to a private chat. It's like, yes, you should. You should.
Yeah.
This is not the spot for that.
That's
No.
never gonna go good. That is
No.
never ever gonna go good. But I gotta say, what was good, it was the SmackDown, y'all. I mean,
Yeah,
this
it
was
was.
a really good
Man.
SmackDown, seriously. And as we said, we're gonna give you guys our ECW watch along. We're just kind of chopping it up a little bit. But as we are gonna do this watch along, it's gonna come in the second half of the episode after we talk SmackDown. But I just want to let you guys know right now, for anybody listening right now that wants to get it queued up, it is on Peacock, ECW Hardcore TV, Season 4, Episode 51, and it is at the 33-minute and 17-second point in that episode. And that's going to be a great one. Voice, what do you got queued up for us in the household this week before we get into SmackDown?
This week is an excellent Taz and RVD grudge match. In this one, Taz is still going with the Taz mission, and people are not being able to kick out of it. It's a big thing with Taz. This submission hold is legendary. This match is going to, if you're not an RVD fan, you're about to be an RVD fan because you're about to see the greatness that RVD was and the technical abilities Taz has and had and is giving to his son and others who want to follow. This is an amazing match. It's just like a regular house show match. It was just basically for their fun, for their fans. I mean, the crowd is rowdy. We're rowdy. Second half of this episode, we're going to get extreme. I can't
Most
wait.
definitely. Yes, that is going to be great. So one more time, ECW Hardcore TV on Peacock. That is Season 4, Episode 51, December 17th, 1996, 33 minutes, 17 seconds. We have got a good one for you if you enjoy a little in-ring action. And we're pivoting to the ring that is SmackDown in the WWE. And we're talking about the queen of the ring, who is also the women's world heavyweight champion. That is Nia Jax coming out for her championship celebration. And before anything else, let me just say that she looked stunning in her entrance. Stunning. My God. I mean, she came out just like a queen. The crown, everything was on point. The title was waiting in the ring for her. And this is just a great presentation for Nia Jax, who feels like she is just on top of the world right now. Same thing with Gunther. They're both have achieved so much in a short amount of time, from being king and queen of the ring to now being the top champion in their respective division. I really enjoyed this. Tiffy time, I enjoyed her role that she played in it. My God, I thought Pretty Deadly, the musical, was going to be a lot better than it was. That was awful. That was awful. I don't know if it was supposed to be awful on purpose, but my God, it was awful. Voice, what did you think about the segment? What did you think of this Nia Jax segment hosted by Tiffany Stratton?
I think it's a fantastic move for the story itself, because anybody who watched, you've seen Tiffy really try to give a celebration to Nia and all the great things that Nia's accomplished. And as Nia said, this is nothing like me. Like, this is not me. Unicorns, pink, white, like, that's not me. Like, but she enjoyed it, you know. And then there was an interruption, and that interruption was fantastic. And I will say, and agree with you 100%. I don't know about the Pretty Deadly thing. I was expecting more. I thought it was going to be funnier, but I really think that they got thrown off with Naya's reaction to it because she did not look happy to see those two. But they had fun with it. They did their thing. But Mi Chin came out of nowhere, my friend, and just performed the Sandman Night and just started hitting people with kendo sticks. It didn't matter who you were. If you were in that ring, she was hitting you. And it really soured the note for Naya that night.
Yeah,
she was not excited about that, but I'm excited for the evolution of Mi Chin and what she's bringing to the table as of a now. I mean, she's really evolving into what we want to see her and what we know she can do. And Naya, this is a perfect story for her to get the over the Dom level heels. She can take this specific thing and go miles with it, and it's only going to be good for her and Tiffy at the exact same time. Her and Tiffany Stratton are hitting on levels that is really advancing the WWE SmackDown's women division, and I'm looking so forward to it.
Yeah, I really agree with you, man. I really feel like that things are moving in a great direction with this story. Now, I got it. There's just a lot. There was a lot of moving parts in this segment. So I want to talk a little bit about Mi Chin, and the reason why is because me and you've been kind of highlighting Mi Chin for a little while now. You know, we've been you've been making those Mi Chin Sandman comparisons here with the kendo stick for a while. She had that one great street fight with Jada Parker on NXT a few weeks back, and she's really just starting to find a different groove right now that I think is really going to be working for Mi Chin, and that's just her showing up and just whooping people's ass randomly, because this is not the first time that she's done this. She does this thing where she just pops up and she's just whooping asses. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm enjoying it. I think that Mi Chin is definitely being featured in a way that I think is unique and good for her. And it's worked for her because now she's found herself in a situation where she's going to be fighting Nia Jax for the championship at a future event. So she's got that opportunity. Grun, man, what was you thinking about this whole thing? What are you thinking about the segment as a whole?
I mean, I thought this segment was a very good segment to open up with SmackDown. Oh, Pretty Deadly the musical, like
it's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be a thing for a while, and like the one thing that you have to give Kit Wilson and Elton Prince is that they are extremely entertaining. That they got great charisma. They know how to play the crowd. They are definitely showmen through and through, and they're very good in the ring. So, like, I can see these guys becoming a staple of the tag team division, not just for SmackDown, but for the WWE for years to come. Because these guys, like, they just know they just look at them, like they
know who they are.
Yeah, and it's if you look back to Kurt Angle, very serious character a lot of times, but he was also willing to make a fool out of himself a lot.
Yep, he sure would.
But now look, but how do we look at it? It doesn't matter how foolish Kurt Angle looked half the time. We still think he's one of the greatest professional wrestlers ever. We still think he's one of the greatest performers in this industry ever.
Yeah,
and it's because of everything he was willing to do. Kit and Elton, with them being willing to do all this silly things, like they're going to stay relevant with the crowd, even when they're not having matches. So when they do have the match, you're going to get the crowd really interested in them, even if they're supposed to be heels. Like you'll get the crowd very invested in the match.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like what they're doing right now, man. I really do. I think that what they're bringing to the table is very unique for a tag team division that we've talked about in the past that we feel like is beginning to really find a footing altogether as a, in a tag team division. We just saw a really great tag team match last night with the Street Profits and DIY, and I was enjoying it. I was like, and I put it in our group chat too. I was like, before the match even started, this is about to be a banger. And I was absolutely right. We actually got a lot of good wrestling matches throughout the night on top of good movement with stories and stuff like that. This was a very, very solid SmackDown through and through. And now we've, once again, like I said, Michin has found herself in an opportunity where she's going to be going up against Nia Jax. I want to throw it to you, Voice, because like me and you have actually been singing Michin's praises for like quite a number of weeks now, and now she's found her way through the card and found herself in a position where she's heated up enough to at least be in a championship match. I'm not sure what her chances are of winning it. I don't like her chances of winning it, honestly, but the win is that she's there. As somebody who's been singing her praises as long as me and you have, what are you thinking about the progression and the evolution of Michin and now her being in the title picture?
I absolutely love it. I think it's a great move. I think she's also a person who's willing to accept whatever they give her and run with it. And we're starting to see that. Like, it's almost like they cut the reins off of her and allowed her to explore what she can bring to the character on different levels. We're seeing more of a hardcore version of her, more of a version where she's not going to take any nonsense, and she's there to prove that she's putting in the work and that she can be a contender for a title. I don't really think Nia should drop the title to Michin. I mean, Michin still has work to do because she's got to get the fans backing her.
Connect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But she's doing the work to get to that point. So that you have to love about her. And I do. I think this is a fantastic move. Michin is definitely going to make SmackDown, the women's division, a little more exciting, a little more what the hell's going to happen. So I like that. I like those surprises. And I'm looking really forward to what this story tells us through Nia and Michin.
I don't know what more you could ask for from that.
No, you're right. I mean, it's all click. I really love where things are going right now. Like with the SmackDown Women's Division, and like we'll tie this little segment up in a knot real quick and with a nice little bow, and just let's talk about real quick. Tiffany Stratton's going to be a babyface, right? Like we all kind of see it coming. We can see the writing on the wall, right? She's going to be a big time babyface. It's coming. Grun, you got a thought?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what Nia asked Tiffany to do before Tiffany had Pretty Deadly do their thing. She said that she wants the women's division to bow down, and she said, let's start with Tiffany.
Yeah.
So Nia is no longer looking at Tiffany as a friend. She's looking at her as a servant. Now, Tiffany, clearly, like, if she was willing to bow down, if she was willing to play that role, she would have bowed down. No, she is looking for her chance to cash in on Nia. So I definitely think I definitely think that Tiffany's gonna become a babyface, but the question is definitely gonna be, how is this gonna play out? Because I think at this point right now, I think it's very likely Tiffany is the one who dethrones Nia.
Oh yeah.
And the question is definitely gonna be when and where and why. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Maybe in the new era of WWE but now SmackDown moves to USA before the year's out, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
I'm not sure exact date, but
I think that's coming in October. Yeah. I think it's in October.
Yeah.
Okay, so you give Nia a few months reign, and even if it's a short reign, you give a storyline for why Nia would still be pursuing the title. And now you have a blood feud between Tiffany and Nia. to go along with it to draw more attention to the title.
I want it drawn out longer.
So
It could be. I mean, this is all speculation.
Yeah.
Sure. No, for sure. I think so. Was it Voice? I think it might have been in the chat, was saying he'd actually like to see, and correct me if I'm wrong, because if it was you, I liked where you're going with it, because we talked a little bit about it. Tiffany Stratton cashing in on Nia, but losing the cash in, which would have to, obviously now it becomes a feud, because she was like, okay, I'm tired of getting bullied, I'm cashing in on you. And then it's like, you're not cashing in on me, let me shut you down. Boom. Remember who the queen is. Sit down, peasant. Which is gonna humble Tiffany Stratton to a point of she's at the very bottom. She's got to work her way all the way back to the top, which can lead her to organically getting wins and stuff as a babyface through the card. And she could possibly even, wait for it, she could possibly even win the Royal Rumble if we can go there. But if not even there, she can work her way up and we can get to Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. And then Tiffany Stratton beats her and gets that WrestleMania moment. Boom, Tiffany Stratton, megastar.
I love it. I feel like it's going to depend on the Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill storyline, because I still believe that is 100% something they want to do at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The question is definitely going to be, can they make this match big enough without a title?
Right.
I think if they're going to keep pushing Jade as much as they are, they need the title. Nia and Tiffany, I think they can do a pretty good match and a pretty good feud without the title, because of the friendship that they're building and the betrayal that they're going to be telling, or that we're assuming that they're going to be telling in the months to come.
So you know what I'm kind of thinking? Like, okay, so what was what was the timeline of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley being tag team champions together, and then Rhea turning on Liv Morgan, and then boom, Liv's out for a few months, boom, Liv comes back, revenge tour, boom, takes out Rhea Ripley, boom, Rhea's out, injured, shoulder for a shoulder, and then Liv Morgan starts her climb. She becomes women's champion, starts to take Dominic, starts to take the family. This is all from late 2023 all the way up until now. So my point, to your point, Grun, is if you do Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton and you continue the story now, because we all see the seeds being planted, by the time it's Royal Rumble, that fruit is going to be ripe. And then you can pluck that fruit at WrestleMania and maybe even get a few more months out of it past that, just like we have Rhea and Liv Morgan.
I agree with you on that. That sounds excellent. But honestly, if I'm going to look at it completely, I'm going to say it's going to be WrestleMania, because you're going to get the most bang out of the buck for that, especially 100%. When it comes to when it comes to Tiffany getting over with the crowd, so much so that she is just adored, and it has to. And you have to have her, because back me up if you guys remember this, but before Money in the Bank, the commentators were talking about that there has not been a non-successful cash-in for the women's yet.
They very much put that, like, I don't want to say, I was going to say drive it into the ground. That's the wrong way of putting it. They made sure that we remembered the success rate of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. So that's very much, and let's not act like that commentary hasn't been a lot more like intricate and granular now with Vince McMahon not screaming in people's ears, you know, and like you can actually tell a story and actually put your own spin on it to make the story better and enhance it once again without 80-something-year-old man screaming in your ears, you know, like so I definitely could see that where they're like, hey, we're wanting you to remember this. So when she fails her cash in, you're gonna be like, oh, that's never happened. It's never happened with the women's brief. That's the first time, you know. And so that's why they do have little buzzy buzz things like that you remember, and they have to say it again and again and again so you remember it, you know. So most definitely, I like the direction of the women's division right now on SmackDown, even with Bayley not on TV, because you're seeing so many stars. Tiffany Stratton, you're seeing Nia Jax, you're seeing Mi Chin start to grow. We're even seeing the evolution of Blair Davenport, who picked up a clean victory over Naomi in a pretty good match. Let's just go ahead and pivot to that real quick. I was surprised she beat her as clean as she did with that knee, that pull-in knee that she did, and I was just surprised. What did you think, Voice? I mean, I like Blair Davenport. I've watched a lot of her on like NXT UK. She's talented, but I just like she got that clean victory that quick. What did you think?
I thought this is exactly why you need Naomi on your roster, because Naomi made Blair like just look good, like look like that was the first time I was interested in a Davenport match, and it started off solely because of Naomi, but then it evolved into what was happening, because there was a moment in the match where Naomi looked like she was just getting ready to just wipe the floor, count it 1, 2, 3, and Davenport comes back out of nowhere and then hits that knee strike and gets the win, and it was clean. There was no tomfoolery, whatever you want to call it. There was nothing. It was a clean, great win, great match, and it really just highlights the greatness of the women's roster and how deep that well is, and it's being fantastically pushed in the right ways. I mean, Naomi's just like she's understanding of what needs to happen in this ring. That was like a split-legged I don't even know, crossbody like off the ring apron.
It's that or what did they call it with the RVD, who we're going to be watching later? Innovative offense. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's actually like, to me, it shows that TNT flavor to Naomi now, or TNA flavor to Naomi.
I'm so glad you know, bro. I'm glad you said that, because like you're talking about how she's just like so pivotal to the SmackDown roster right now, whether she's winning or she's losing. And I really think that her time in TNA just really made her understand the business on a wider scale. Like, you have WWE pretty much, when you're somebody who came into WWE that was brought in by WWE and scouted, and like you never had to go through the indies, you're just used to that. You know, you're used to WWE doing everything for you. You know what I'm saying? But when she went to TNA, I think she got a better understanding of the business, and now we just have a much better version of Naomi, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah,
I think part of the problem with is that she came into WWE strictly, while Triple H did run NXT his way, he did have to still kind of do it the Vince McMahon way at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas now you got Shawn Michaels, you got a lot of people in NXT that are, or even on the main roster, that have that are passing on knowledge when they had to come up in the indies, saying, all right, here are the things I learned from the indies that definitely work in WWE. Here are the things that definitely don't. And look at the megastars that you're making right now. Roxanne Perez came up in the indies, but at the same time, not just any indie scene. She didn't just come up in just any program. She came up in Reality of Wrestling. And y'all know who owns Reality of Wrestling? The six-time world champion Houston's own Booker T. And Booker T has, if you listen to the Chris Van Vliet interview he did recently, he said that he designed reality wrestling to be exactly like NXT. That was so his students were prepared for NXT when they got
That's
there.
brilliant.
That's very smart.
That's brilliant. Damn,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
And it's like, do you know? And they weren't calling Roxanne the Prodigy when she was in NXT. They were calling her the Prodigy when she was in Ring of Honor. Like, that tells you that even on the indie scene, people had faith that this woman was going to be big. And she is 22, almost 23. It's like,
She's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. She's going to be a huge star. I mean, most definitely. I mean, and it's just I love the culture right now. Like I say right there, the culture that WWE is cultivating is so great. And like, I really love the fact that they're really banking on this next in line program that they've been. I mean, a lot of their last few top stars have came through the next in line program. Bianca Belair came through that next in line program. Montez Ford came through the next in line program. You know, so many of the Braun Breaker came through the next in line program. A lot of your top stars, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, they all came from that program. And not only are you getting collegiate athletes who know how to be coached, who are coachable, who listen. You put great stars and great wrestling minds around them, like Shawn Michaels. CM Punk goes down there from time to time. Randy Orton's about to be making a trip down there. You know, Undertaker makes trips down there. You have these influential wrestlers who these kids came up through schooling, through their high school career, middle school, collegiate career. Like, oh man, CM Punk, he was so awesome. Yeah, I remember the Summer of Punk in 2011. And they're like, your selling point is, hey, I know that you're a football player, but we have this program here, our next in line program, where you can come here and we can teach you how to wrestle, and you'll have opportunities to be on TV, and you'll move down to Florida, and you'll get a chance to meet wrestlers like The Undertaker and CM Punk and Shawn Michaels. And it's like, whoa, that's my childhood. Like, that's literally like, you have these young kids that are like, of course they're going to be like, oh, I can wrestle. I can make good money wrestling. I get to move down to Florida. I get to be on USA Network. And all I have to do is train and work with some of the best wrestlers that I grew up watching. Yeah, where do I sign? Like, let me sign up now. Like, it's great. I love the culture that's being cultivated in the WWE. It's just really great to see. It just is.
Dude, that was great to hit on that point, because it is true. I mean, I honestly hope that they stop in at one of my daughter's softball games and maybe nudge them into a WWE.
Yeah.
And then we go, wow, look at us.
It's possible. It's possible now. It's such a cool thing because when I was coming up, we would, kids our age back in the 90s would be like, man, how do you get into wrestling? I don't know how I would become a WWE wrestler back in 1999 or 2002 or something. Yeah, I don't know how I would do it. It felt like it was like, because it was the business was so closed off, and like it was designed to be that way. But with programs like the Next in Line program, I just think it's great for, like, if a kid does everything right, you know what I'm saying, and like gets good grades and and play sports collegiately and stuff like that, and then they have an opportunity to sign up for something like this in college, they could be like, wow, not only can I use my college degree for whatever I'm going for, but now I have a chance to actually do something in wrestling. And I've been watching wrestling with my dad since I was 7, or my mom had wrestling on when I was 12 or so. It's just a great opportunity for kids that are doing things the right way to be able to pivot into the wrestling business if that's their dream. And I just think that's a fucking awesome thing.
Yeah, it's more
100%.
ways out. More ways out, man.
SmackDown was awesome. And one thing that really made this SmackDown awesome, and Voice, I know you're going to agree with me on this one, it is this feud that is going on with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, they had a hell of a match last night. I mean, wow, if this is really, and I said something in the group, I said that I think that people are going to be talking about this wrestling series between these two men years down the line, and I really do, because they're starting to really find themselves or find each other as far as like a group. They've been putting on good matches already, but I think last night was, I believe it was their trilogy, and it was the best one of their matches that they've had. Grun, what are you thinking about where this feud is going, where it can go, what we've seen? It's really grown, and it's been one of those things that's grew organically on SmackDown.
So this is definitely, I think where I can see this match happening at WrestleMania, but at the same time, I'm like thinking like, I don't think I want this feud dragged out all the way to WrestleMania.
If they start wrestling too much, then we're not going to appreciate it the same.
No, yeah, and look, the match last night was definitely the best of the 3 matches they've had so far. However, Melo is down 2-1 in this, so I think we can see at least maybe 2 or 3 more matches between them.
It's coming for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like it is going to be building to a bigger match. Hopefully, like maybe something like an Iron Man match just came to mind, because these are 2 guys like they don't really fit the style of an Iron Man match, but at the same time, like they could probably add their own flair to it and make a really cool Iron Man match.
So would you give him a solid 30, or would you give him an entire hour on SmackDown?
I think I give them a solid 60 minutes to.
Okay, so would you give them that last hour slot, or would you put them as the opener? What would you do?
I would probably give them the main event spot.
Okay.
Actually, it's hard because as long as the Bloodline storyline is going on, that's
yeah.
So it's like I might
that's
be
a good point.
Like I might be setting the bar too high for like an Iron Man match, but I mean like I can feel them like getting some sort, maybe a ladder match for a number 1 contender championship bout against LA Knight, maybe. And like because really that's where the feud started, in a ladder match. So the feud ends in a ladder match, maybe is the right way to go. And I mean, like with a 1-on-1 between the 2, like I think you could have a really good showing. Plus, I mean, like you could, that could be how maybe you turn Andrade heel and turn Melo face, because
a double
that
turn.
could be that could be how you introduce the Lucha Bros, because even if you are just going to stick them with Andrade, the fact is, the 3 of them together with, hopefully, and I really do hope that they bring Alex Abrahantes with them when they come to WWE.
I would like to see that too. I like
because Alex Abrahantes just has he was a commentator who just happens to have a lot of personality and a lot of charisma, and he's really fun to watch and listen to.
I agree.
So, I can see that foursome like really working really well as a good team and a heelish faction.
No, we talked about this before. It's definitely something that I would like to see. I think that I will say this is I've been a little bit down on Elgato del Fantasma, but that video package I did last night was well done.
Yeah.
They're
bringing them back. They're reviving them slowly. So it's just wait and see. I mean, I don't have an expectation for them for Legado del Fantasma. No,
not at this point.
No,
I don't.
There is no expectation. But at this point, like if you're WWE, that's the best thing you can ask for, is that fans don't have an expectation. Because if they do, they'll probably be disappointed. Because these guys have been treated like a joke for the last couple years since they've been, or for their time they've been on the main roster. So now that they're being given this chance, like Santos is definitely an awesome talker. He's he has plenty of charisma, and he's a great wrestler. It's just you have to now bring this group to his level and be able to display it.
And you make a great point there, Grun. I do not see that across, like when you see, and they've been building, like obviously we've seen vignettes of Da Vinci. He's coming to SmackDown, and then Ludwig Kaiser, but like they weren't on the same level as Gunther when they were Imperium together. It was Gunther, and then it was them, and that's what you kind of see with Phantasma. It's kind of the same thing. It's Santos, and then it's two guys, and I think that if you have Andrade, who, as somebody like The Voice, has watched him many, many times on a Saturday night and knows what this man is capable of and knows his talent, and then what we know the Lucha Brothers can do, we know the noise that they can bring if they sign with the WWE, and you bring their manager as well, like that's where it feels like almost bloodline-ish, because it's like everybody in the group can stand on their own. Everybody in the group could be a top tier level talent on their own. They're just coming together to make this awesome group, and it's not just upper mid card guy in two enhancement talents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. Voice, I know you got a lot of thoughts on this Andrade and Carmelo Hayes feud that's been going on, because we've been really talking about it as far as last night's match. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and gush about it, because I know you got a lot to say.
Dude, it was a fantastic match. I mean, from both parties that were involved in it, it was refreshing to see such a clean, not wasted movement match, and we got that with them. Mello is really this dude is writing all the shooting stars in the universe. He is just growing so fast inside the main roster, and to be on this level with a guy like Andrade and to keep up with what Andrade can do in a ring, it really speaks volumes to his training, to his ability to learn. And I really like this feud, because I like where you guys are saying, and Grun, you said this, it started at a ladder match, it needs to end at a ladder match. And I like that theory, but I need more wins on Mello's side before we get to that. I need that ladder match needs to set up for a bigger match for whoever wins. They need to give that to an LA Knight title match would be fantastic, especially at a PLE. So you don't need Andrade to win that. I honestly, I don't think he needs that win, but to get Mello there on a PLE for a title, I think you need that more, just because there's more years you're going to get out of the years of Mello than you are Andrade. Andrade's older, and this is no knock to Andrade at all. So I love this dude. And honestly, I love where you guys are going with the Lucha Bros, because I was saying it. They need to make him like a son of a high-ranking cartel member, something like that, to where it gives that danger element to Andrade, just as his presence there. And then these are his guys who are going to guarantee his life, because if they allow Andrade to look foolish, to lose, to do something, then that is them, because it's a cartel. You can tell that story with these guys, and they can pull it off, because Andrade has the look as a leader of any faction that he teams up with or that they give him. He has that look. He had it on Collision. Like I said, the best thing AEW did with Andrade was let him be Andrade on a Saturday night, because those were the moments when you got a great match. You got all these great technical skills that a lucha libre can bring out. And then the fact that he can be a great technical wrestler and give you precise movements in a match that make people go, you get a reaction out of it. And to have Andrade on your roster, and then to have the possibility of the Lucha Bros to come in, it's a no-brainer to team them up with him. He's got the momentum. And Mello's a lone wolf out there, and he's pulling off matches like this. He just beat Andrade. He did what he didn't think or what he knew was possible, but us as fans were like, Andrade's going to win these, right? Like
Yeah.
anytime he's up against Melo, Andrade's. But no, it's not that. Andrade or Melo got his win. I need 2 more. I need it to be tied up, and then I need that ladder match to be the tiebreaker, and that ladder match has to be meaningful. It has to have some importance. It has to have something rewarding at the end of it, rather than you just beat this dude in the best of series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's how you get Melo bigger than what Melo is right now, because the kid is just so damn good.
He's gonna get there.
So good.
He's definitely gonna get there. He's really good. So I got a couple of thoughts. Like, okay, so my first thought is this. With Andrade, it almost has to have a little bit like, I would like to see Andrade, because you talk about that cartel danger, he'd have to have a little bit of like Razor Ramon in him almost, like that type of vibe. Like, dare I say, he'd have to have some Razor's edge. He'd have to have an edge to him, like Razor. And I think that would be really good. I do think that if he had that danger, like you said, it would just help people connect on a different level with Andrade. Also, another thing is, screw it. Let's just do what they did on Dynamite. Let's go ahead and just, who was it? Was it MJF and Will Ospreay for an hour on a Dynamite? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Let's just do Andrade and let's do Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in an hour, opening SmackDown commercial free.
Sign me up. You got me hooked for an hour.
I mean, you definitely get a lot of viewers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I
And
think
it's
that'd be
different.
sweet.
It's different too for WWE.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Like, I liked that AEW did it. Like, I didn't hate that.
Too.
Like,
No.
So I think that if WWE just was like, hey, we're about to give you a 60-minute Iron Man match on some SmackDown, and I don't know, freaking somewhere. Do it in New York. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. Do it in like New York or something. I was gonna say some random town, but like, nah, do it in like a Chicago or a New York if you're going to,
A
to
rowdier
that area.
place.
A rowdier place for sure. Yeah.
100. Yeah.
That'd be
Send them
sweet.
towards Grun's neck of the woods.
Philly. Philly might pop off. Philly might pop off.
Maybe. So the one thing that I got is that WWE knows how to book their shows and not make you feel like the best thing on the show was at the beginning and now nothing else matters.
Right.
That is from what with AEW. That's what I've seen is their problem, is that they know what they want to be the best thing on the show, and then you only have the fans really interested in that one thing. And now that you've got that, you're like, I don't know what else to do for the rest of the show. Or it's like you have good plans, but the show doesn't have a good flow to it.
Yeah.
They started that show with 1 hour free, commercial free, an hour-long match between MJF and Will Ospreay, which was a fantastic, amazing match. But the rest of the show, it
was flat, wasn't it?
Yeah, the rest of it's like you took your biggest shot at the start of the show, and it's like people probably did not care about the rest of the show.
Yeah,
it's like
but
you're trying to make the best match of the year every single week. It's like, dude, you're going to burn your fans out. WWE doesn't do that every week. Now every week that Andrade and Melo were they wrestling, did they have great match? Yeah, every week it probably was the best match or one of the best matches on the card, but the rest of the show didn't falter because of it.
Exactly.
That's a good
and plus
point.
with them, if they open up an hour-long Iron Man match, you have Roman and Solo for the ending. You can just throw them on the end, and it's a good. It's good,
and people are going to care. You're going to keep them to the end. And you know what? With WWE, with the way that WWE is producing, you could even possibly if like WWE will do this. If let's say they did it and it wasn't commercial free, so they would like go to commercials every now and then during the match, they would probably come back and you probably see like a backstage segment from there that continues another story, and then boom, that 30-second segment is over, right back into the Iron Man match. And like boom, not only are you still doing the match, but you're still moving along stories a little bit during the match, and then boom, you still have another hour, and then like you said, Voice, you just ended with Roman and Solo. So like you're gonna have people that are going to stay for the hour, that they're gonna love that hour-long Iron Man match for the fans that are gonna that want wrestling, and then you still have a whole other hour where maybe you can do another match, maybe 2 matches, and then just get really story heavy for that last hour.
Yeah, I mean they got so many chapters going on right now inside SmackDown itself that you could easily do 2 matches right after that and give one with the illusion Tiffy's gonna fucking cash in. People are hooked then. And then you say, hey, we got a bloodline at the end of this. People are going to stick around. I think Grun, you were saying it right. AEW just doesn't understand that flow yet. Hopefully they get there, but I mean,
so I do think that we need to clean up that statement a little bit. Tony Khan doesn't know. He books it like a fan.
You're true. Yeah. You're right in that statement.
It's like Tony, you have guys that are wrestlers that have booked shows before that know what to do. You have
in their
producers.
sleep.
You have people working for you that know how to book wrestling shows, even if they're not wrestlers. So here's what you do, Tony. Sit the fuck down in your office. Stay there. Don't sign new talent, and just tell your employees, do your job. And I will just sign off on it. I don't care what it is, because I don't care how much of a fan you are. If there's anything I've learned just from watching, is that fans can't run industry, can't run a wrestling show.
Multiple times.
Scott D'Amore is a fan of pro wrestling, but at the same time, he was a pro wrestler performer. He may have not always been a wrestler, but he was in the ring. He performed. He worked in the industry for 20 plus years before he became a producer, or he was a producer while performing. So he learned everything that he needed to know to make TNA as good as it was and as good as it is. It's like that. Like you like a new person, like we saw with Dixie Carter. I've gone off on a rant. I'm sorry.
It's what we're here to do, man. It's good.
But we saw with Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter was a sweetheart of human being, great businesswoman, didn't understand pro wrestling and surrounded herself with the wrong people and and screwed TNA. She didn't mean to. She wanted to make it successful, but she hired the wrong people because she thought they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Eric Bischoff doesn't know fucking shit. What? He's only ever been good as a jackass on TV. That's all he's good for.
We would still love to talk to you, Eric.
I would still talk to him for sure. But they were. But here's the thing about it. Like they came in new, and as soon as I remember those times when TNA was on TV, and as soon as I heard like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and X-Pac and Kevin Nash and Hall was coming over, my first thought was fuck, because I knew exactly what was about to happen, and it was just and exactly what I knew was going to happen, because those guys come in and they're all about money. They're about to get their money. They couldn't and listen. We all know who Vince is. He's Vince McMahon. But one thing I'll say about this is that Hulk Hogan and them, when they brought the NWO to the WWE, they wasn't about to bully Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was having none of it, because Vince McMahon came up in the business. He wasn't just some money mark that you can take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what it was. So like you saw more subdued NWO, and then you saw the NWO kind of taper off, and it was just mainly Hogan being Hogan because that's what people wanted to see, but like very much to your point, man, to tie that whole rant up in a bow, is, yeah, fans don't need to, and we see it all the time in the indies. Fans like, oh, I'm gonna run a wrestling show, and like you don't know jack shit about wrestling like you think that you do. And like even me, who works in wrestling and done a lot of things in wrestling and has done some amazing things in wrestling, I still don't know everything. I always keep my ears open and my mouth shut when I'm in a locker room, because I'm still trying to learn and I'm still trying to grow and get better in the wrestling business in my roles that I do. But like, no, man, fans who think they know everything about the business without actually doing anything in the business, they actually hurt the business more than they help it. So I just leave that at that. I just leave that at that there. And because we still got to talk SmackDown, and SmackDown once again was a great watch. I mean, we saw the Tribal Chief come out. We had Kevin Owens defeat Grayson Waller. And like, as good as I thought that this SmackDown was, it's still like the whole thing, like the Kevin Owens thing. And I love Kevin Owens. Awesome. One of my favorites. It's still kind of topsy-turvy to me, because it's like he's still kind of like meh about getting a title shot. And I'm like, we only got a few more weeks for this event. So like, are we getting the Kevin Owens heel turn? Is it happening? So I'm like, because like I felt like if they was gonna do it, they have to do it by now, because what do we got? 2 more weeks before Bash in Berlin. So now I feel like we're about to hold off on it, because he can't just go into Friday night. Oh, I'm heel now, and there's our match is next week. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, SmackDown was great. I love Kevin Owens. I know Kevin Owens and Cody are going to put on a great match in Berlin. I just am not sure about the direction. Voice, what are your thoughts on everything going on in the title picture? And does the title picture even feel like the main event picture to you?
Absolutely not. I'll answer that last part right out the gate. No, it doesn't feel like it. But I'm with you, man. I'm not a fan of this Kevin Owens doubting or not feeling like he's he deserves the shot. Yeah. I mean, come on. Like I ran it on the last time. He's Kevin Owens. The dude has done amazing things for us as fans. He's put on great matches. I mean, the pop-up power bomb wouldn't be a thing without Kevin Owens. I mean, he was the first one who introduced me to that one. I've probably seen it other places, but he made it memorable. He made it something that you look forward to. And to elaborate more on what I answered at the very beginning, it just doesn't feel like the title doesn't feel like somebody's searching for it, somebody's trying to get it. It feels a little lackluster right now, because I mean, is it the fault of the bloodline and their story being so compelling and so drawing that it takes away from other storylines? No, it's not. It's the fault of the man who holds the title, because at the end of the day, no matter what is wrote for you, no matter what is said for you to do, no matter what is lined up in front of you, you make the decisions to make that entertaining for me as the consumer of the product you're putting out. And I'm sorry, but right now it seems like this title run is more so on the way of getting Cody to that John Cena levels when it comes to charities, when it comes to being the company guy out there shaking all the hands of the sick kids,
kissing babies,
and just being the well-rounded guy for the company, which that's what the WWE needs. They always need that head guy there, but does it need to be your champion? Can it be a guy who is maybe more towards on his way out, like an R-Truth, somebody who can keep you entertained? Who wouldn't be excited? I know if I was a child who was getting ready to meet a wrestler and it was R-Truth, I would be jacked and ready to go, because that dude's going to make it memorable. He's going to make it fun time for me as a kid. So, I mean, I'm still a fan of wrestling, so I still think the world title means something. I think the universal title is something. I think all of that, but what I don't think is that we need to have a lull behind the title. And it's not a knock on Cody at all. Cody's doing what he's supposed to do, but it's just something I'm not buying because I don't think it's meant for me. I don't think his story, the continuation of his story, leading up to his story and him finishing his story, that was for me. That was for me as the fan I am. But what happens after is not for me. That's for the younger crowd. That's for the kids. That's for them to get more people in and be like, hey, we got a well-polished product here. Look at our champion. He's clean cut. He's so nice. He smiles. He's not an angry Canadian who's ready to destroy the world.
Right.
So we gotta love what we have, but in a large ramble to finish that up, I really just feel that this is secondary to SmackDown. Bloodline is first and foremost because it needs to be. It's what got us excited about this family, about the Romans' pursuit of perfection, of taking over, of tribal chief is one of the best stories ever wrote under a WWE umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's my thoughts coming out of that, because you made a good point as far as like Cody having to be the PR guy now and whatnot. So like, here's a thought. We're about to have the last final run of John Cena coming up, starting next year. Let him be that guy again, because that's exactly who's going to be. I don't think we're going to see Cena turn heel or anything crazy like
It would
that.
be great though.
It would be nuts. That'd be nuts. But
Yeah.
but I think we're gonna see John Cena go out as John Cena. Let him keep being that guy where he's granting wishes and stuff and doing all that awesome Cena stuff that Cena does. And that's gonna give us an opportunity to see dickhead Cody Rhodes. And I think that's what we need to see. He's like, come on, like it's kind of off-putting because it's like, you're the American nightmare, but you're acting more like the American dream. Like you're exactly what the clean cut, muscular, cool, army looking guy that you're supposed to like and blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's wearing the American flag colors and and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing to have in wrestling. I'm just saying you're the American nightmare, bro. You should be a dickhead. So like. Yeah. I think that we can see dickhead Cody, and I think that dickhead Cody will hit different because like I think that's another thing is that we're just seeing that one side of Cody because like Cody's very much a politician and we see that side of him, but like what's Cody like when he's like pissy or in a bad mood or or somebody's pressing him or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. I want to see Cody be a jerk a little bit. And like, I feel like he's hiding that inside of him. And like, nah, bro, you need to let that out because like, and us as fans, we pulled it out of The Rock. The Rock wanted to be that. We pulled it out of him, bro. Like Rock very much wanted to be like, I'm just going to rest on my laurels and do my easy little shtick. And can you smell? If you smell what The Rock is cooking and candy ass, what now? He's like, nah, bro. No, bro, you got to do something different. You got to do something different, bro. We're not buying that no more. We know secretly deep down The Rock is a dickhead. Quit trying to be a nice guy. We don't want, and that's exactly what we're going to get to with Cody Rhodes. We're like, all right, we're tired of the nice guy. Be real. Be an asshole. We want to see you be an asshole. So like I think that is going to be what takes Cody Rhodes to that next other level that I think, because I don't think Cody's reached his prime yet. I don't think he has. I think we still have a lot of good Cody Rhodes ahead of us, and we're going to see that as he turns heel. And like we know Cody will go to that next level. If you remember that segment with The Rock outside in the rain, bloody and bloodied up, that's
forget it.
You can't forget it. Cody will take it there. He'll take it to that next level. Look who his dad is, one of the greatest bookers of all time. He will take it there. So like I think that there's another level for Cody to get to, but very much right now it does feel secondary with the bloodline. Grun, what's your thoughts on it, man, as far as this whole Cody Kevin Owens thing?
So I think with what we saw on SmackDown last night, we saw Kevin is starting. I think he's starting to go back to maybe something like the Kevin that we saw when he debuted on Raw, challenging for John Cena for the United States Championship.
I
The
remember
Kevin
that,
Owens
yeah.
that is very sure of himself, very, you could say, overconfident, but at the same time, like the way he walked, he had a similar vibe to a Samoa Joe, but
Yes.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. That's a good. He had a danger about him for sure. Like
Oh, yeah.
remember this is the same guy who betrayed his best friend on his first night on NXT.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I will never forget that because I was shocked and I was like, we're doing that on the first night? Like, wow. And like he's vicious, and when he's a champion, he's a different breed when he's a champion. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
always been a thing with Kevin Owens and Kevin Steen. Like he's one of those guys where it's like you might not expect him to win the championship, but then when he wins the championship, it's almost like plus 10 strength, plus 10 charisma, plus 10 popularity. Like
yeah.
he's just a different beast when you put a title on Kevin Owens because he's a prize fighter. That was always his thing.
He's also never had a good world title run. Like he could have had a great world title run if you let him keep the title when he was doing the friendship with Chris Jericho, because that was the best thing on Raw at the time. But then it's like, no, we have to put it on Goldberg. No, sorry, we have to put it on Goldberg. It's like, motherfucker.
And Grun,
that was awful.
To layer what you're talking about with Kevin Owens, if you have somebody who can write and direct Kevin Owens in that way, you're going to have a fantastic title run with Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Because I mean, his moniker is Fight Owens Fight. Like people chant that for him.
Yeah.
It's, you know, he's the guy who we want to be the wrecking ball in the China shop. And I would love for him to get a serious title run like you were talking about, Grun, and have it meaningful. And to say what you were on, Con, with his NXT debut, and he turns on his best friend. That's what I'm talking about with Kevin Owens. The actions that he does are so memorable. So memorable.
Yep. Most definitely. So maybe, I mean, I want this to be good. I know the match is going to be good. I just want to see where we're going with this. I'm just going to follow the story and see where it goes because, I mean, I'm happy to see Kevin Owens back in the title picture. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just here to just like boo-boo all over it. Like, I'm happy that Kevin Owens is in that spot. It's great to see. I just thought the story getting there would be a little bit better, but I'm going to let it breathe. I'm going to follow it and see where that goes, and hopefully, I mean, it can hook me, and it has a strong possibility. And like another thing that hooked me, it was this number one contenders match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, DIY going up against the Street Profits. I know I put in the chat before, I was like, this is about to be a banger. That match was really freaking good. I love a good number one contenders match because not only was this match just great, like a fantastic match, something was on the line. And it would just, for me, it was match of the night for those reasons. And like the Street Profits, we have said it, I believe, Voice, that we're kind of like, the Street Profits are on a different trajectory now that MVP and Bobby Lashley, they've, gone from the company, and they're like, hey, we know we tried to put you in that situation with them, but we're going to put you back on track where you was at before. And, it didn't work out, but trust me, we're going to take care of you. It looks like WWE is most definitely taking care of the Street Profits. The crowd are back hyped with them again. They're looking strong in tag team matches again. They looked great last night. And once again, was my match of the night. Where are you at with this match, and where are you at with the trajectory of the Street Profits?
Well, first and foremost, the match was fantastic, and I can see exactly why you're calling it your match of the night. It was great, and the Street Profits get the win. They are now the number one contenders. They get their shot, and I think it was a very smart move to make it up to the Street Profits.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and I'm not trying to speak out of pocket or anything, but with the addition to MVP and Bobby Lashley, to me, as the average viewer, it felt like we have two black guys. Can we put them in with the black guy crew? Like that's how it felt to me. It did not
And-
feel organic. It
and
did not feel.
top of that, to add on top of that, it kind of felt like, and I don't want to say it like this, it's tough because I have a lot of respect for MVP, a lot of respect, a ton of respect.
Yeah.
But it really kind of slightly felt like riding coattails a little bit. Like, and like Bobby Lashley, he's had his trouble with the company as far as like not being presented in the way he wants to be presented. MVP just has not been on TV at all. Then I don't want to get too deep into this, but then MVP with like going in about Triple H on social media, that was just a bad look for him altogether. I think it was. You know, he said what he said and felt like he had to say it, but at the same time, you know, when you say stuff like that, actions are going to come at you, you know? So, like, I don't see him coming back to the company anytime soon. Fences can always mend. They usually do, but, like, not anytime soon. And it's just like you left the Street Profits kind of holding the bag. And it was like they took care of Wes Lee when Wesley's tag team partner had all that stuff that happened, and then he became a great North American champion. And I think it's kind of something similar to that, where it's like, hey, the stuff that has happened around you, Angelo and Montez, has literally been no fault of your own. Don't worry. We're going to take care of you. And I think that that is exactly what needed to happen. Street Profits feel like one of the top tag teams in a hot SmackDown tag team division right now, which is great for them. I feel like WWE is taking good care of them, as they should, because these two young men, everybody wants to talk about, oh, one is the Shawn Michaels and the other is the Jannetty. But every time that talk comes up, Angelo Dawkins improves and gets better and proves that he can stand on his own. He's not just the second guy in the team. He's actually one of the two top guys in the team, not just the Jannetty. So, like, I love what this team has become, and I love that they've taken care of them. Grun, what do you think about the match, and what do you think about where we're going with the Street Profits?
First off, like, I am thrilled that Street Profits won mainly because not that I didn't want to see DIY get their titles back. I do, but the Street Profits winning means more because now that kind of solidifies, like, yeah, we're not splitting them. If one of them turns heel, they both turn heel. And with BFAB, like, BFAB can definitely, I think BFAB can definitely play a good heel manager.
Oh yeah.
Sure. So it's like, and so it's like, this was a fantastic tag team match. I'm hoping I think one of you guys said it in the private chat, or I saw this somewhere, that Roman Reigns might cost Bloodline the tag titles next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling for.
And you know what? Like, that makes sense because, like, you know what? Yeah, Roman Reigns, he's not an idiot. He knows, like, okay, you guys want to play this game? I'll play this game. Yep. And Roman Reigns does have a problem of he has no real allies right now. So it's like, if he can maybe makes like some allies right now, like Street Profits are not a bad team to pick as your allies.
No, that's
actually a top tip for your allies.
Yeah, for sure.
They're great. They're definitely great picks and people that definitely the Bloodline are going to be coming after anyway. So it's like, enemy of my enemy is my friend.
There you go. Great point, Grun.
That's
excellent.
Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah, I like that. Hey, does it not see that, like, I mean, to you guys, does it not feel like BFAB can just, like, on a dime just turn that attitude and just,
I think so, yeah.
Like, it just seems like that's in them. Like, they can, I just get that feeling. And I want to really just polish up what we were saying real quick, because like you said, House, the Street Profits, through no fault of their own, all these actions were happening around them. They contributed to none of it, but also they didn't have to change anything.
No, they
like,
sure did.
They are still them. They are just getting, platformed. They're getting pushed now. So it's like, you guys are doing everything so well, so great. And we are so thankful to have the Street Profits in the WWE, because it's going to be great. And I like to think that they're more of, instead of a tag team, they're actually solo artists together making a fantastic tag team a la The Rock and Austin when they went on
Yeah.
their run. You know, these guys are just so amazing.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing for sure with them. And once again, the women's division looking good on SmackDown, the tag team division looking good on SmackDown. And I forget who said it. I think it was one of you two, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but somebody was like, we're just starting to kind of like percolate with these storylines. Like weeks ago, this was weeks ago, where it's like SmackDown feels a little bit light, but it's like now things are starting to progress now, and we're seeing things like Blair Davenport picking up victories when it was like, Blair Davenport, what's she doing? And then Mi Chin is like, Mi Chin is kind of lightweight, making some noise, but like, but now she's making big noise. You know what I'm saying? The storyline with Stratton and Nia Jax is starting to develop. You know, you still have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven somewhere in that mix. You still have you have Belair and Cargo somewhere in that mix, you know, and there's just a lot of moving parts right now, which of course is capped off by the fight over the Ulafali, the tribal chief. Who is the tribal chief? Roman Reigns? Is it Solo Sikoa? Who is it? This has become a compelling thing because like it's now become a thing where it's like, the title isn't the most important thing on the show. It's that symbol piece. It's the Ulafala that's now become the most prized possession on SmackDown. So it's crazy to see. Roman had it. He had it for a minute. We saw the returning Jacob Fatu in a boot come in, and we saw the tribal chief get taken out by the new bloodline. Grun, what are you thinking about that segment, man? I myself was entertained. I thought, I was like, when I saw that Roman had it, I was like, oh, we're just tying that up right now. He's just going to get it and then we're done with it. And then boom, here comes Jacob Fatu and the story continues. Grun, what was you thinking, bro?
That I'm thinking that was a great segment. At the same time, like I kind of felt a little disappointed, and I kind of realized, shit, we're not really going to hit the next high point of this story until Bloodline or Bad Blood, and it's like that's October. It's like okay, I commend WWE on their storytelling of the Bloodline story, okay, because it is 4 years long, and you have kept us enticed and entertained by it for 4 freaking years. Like, kudos to you. Fantastic. You're going to go into your 5th year of this. I kind of want you to speed it up a little bit because it's like, yo, we know you've got Hikuleo under contract, or at least supposedly under contract right now. Right. And it's like, he's not, and it's like, you didn't move him to NXT. So it's like, clearly you're going to move him to SmackDown ASAP. And like, it's a bit selfish, but I kind of just want to know right away. Am I right? Are you putting him with Roman Reigns, or are you going to do what I'm going to call the basic bitch thing and put him with his brothers in Solo Sikoa's? Like,
wow, I agree with your statement. Trust me, I agree with it.
I'm starting to hear more Zilla noise.
I mean, me too. So I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that because Zilla Fatu is the son of Umaga, and he has been doing, my understanding, he's been doing a lot of great work in Reality of Wrestling, just becoming the Reality of Wrestling world champion. So like I can definitely see that. At the same time, like I just can't get over the idea of a Tongan siding against the other two and saying the line, but he's the real tribal chief, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And getting the reaction. And then maybe somewhere down the line, you make all 3 Tongans a stable and they're the Gorillas of Destiny or whatever.
Right. Hey, it's a thought, man. Boys, anything you want to add to that, bro, before we got to go to break here?
The only thing I'd like to say is like it's amazing, and I know you guys have brought it up, multiple people, especially you, House. Roman hasn't said a goddamn word.
Not a word. Nothing.
Not a
Nada.
word. And he's getting this. This is a once in a lifetime treasure that we are so blessed to witness and see. And I love this story. And to cap off what I want to say, does Jacob know he's got a boot on? Because he did not act like he knew he had a boot on.
He sure didn't, did he? He was just doing his thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, like that dude's on a whole nother level. He might actually be the real life Wolverine.
Yeah, that guy's
I
nuts. Like, I'm telling you, God, seeing a Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu one-on-one match would feed families, bro.
Yeah.
It would feed families. I mean, I think that like Jacob, out of everybody in this new bloodline, he's probably the most impactful wrestler. Like, and I acknowledge that Solo's gotten a lot better, and Solo is still developing. But Jacob is, as I've said before he even signed with the company, Jacob does everything Solo does, but better. And I still think that. I mean, and once again, it's not anything against Solo. I love Solo Sikoa, former guest on the show, friend of the show, Solo Sikoa. Love him, but like Jacob Fatu, he's on a different level. He's a freak, man, and you just gotta appreciate that for what it is. So, I thought the segment was good. Everything Roman is doing is big, and he has not said a word. When are we gonna see Jimmy Uso? When are we gonna see Paul Heyman? We don't know. We can speculate that as the weeks come and we continue. But before we get to our great watch along, we're about to do this great watch along, a little ECW action. It's going to be great. We got to take a break real quick. We're going to pay a few bills. And when we come back, we're going to have our man, The Voice, lead us into this awesome watch along.
A-N-I-S. Anus. Bam. 800 points. That's game.
It's not how you spell anus.
I went to Ivy Tech for 2.5 years, bro. I can spell anus.
You know what? I know an expert in this field.
I think I know who you're talking about.
What are you guys doing? We gotta go play Harvest Fest. I'm in here getting all of our gear, and you guys are here playing Scrabble? Again?
You know what, Maddie? You can settle this for us.
Yeah. How do you spell anus?
I'm not gonna settle another Scrabble discrepancy for you guys. That's the third time this week.
Calm down, Maddie. Harvest Fest isn't until September 14th. Gates open at 4 p.m.
Yeah. At the Miami Open Air Auditorium. Google for directions.
Are you telling me that Harvest Fest X is not until September 14th? Featuring bands such as Fourth Among Midgets, Forgotten Ashes, Tight Like a Tiger, GPD, Resonate, and Patron? September 14th?
I'm hungry.
Shut up! There's gonna be food at Harvest Fest. The lunch break's coming down, and they're gonna make delicious burgers!
I'm not having fun anymore.
Fun? You wanna have fun? Well, I got a doozy for you, because the Kokomo Press is coming out, and they're gonna have stand-up comedians. We're talking Sean D., Pierce Clott, Michael Howard, Greg Lindberg, Alexa Eden, Davey Moomaw, Jordan Granger, Jacob Harder, Brian Allen West, and Dan Alton.
Say it, don't spray it.
Maddie! Bro.
Since you put it that way, bro. You know, you're right. You guys... I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have blown off the handle like that. Here's how you spell anus. A-N-U-S. Just think about it like I do. The way I remember it, it's an United States, right? So, anyways, I'll see you guys September 14th at Harvest Fest X at the Miami Open Air Auditorium. Google for directions.
Bring a tent.
I don't get it. In United States.
Welcome back to In Your House. Guys, check out everything that they're doing at the Kokomo Press. They're doing great work, and their comedy shows are really moving and pushing out there. It's really great to see, so definitely check that out. But with us here, now it is time to get into what we got to do, and that is go extreme, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get extreme with our ECW Watch Along. And of course, when we do that, we have to have our guy here, the educator of extreme, the voice, Josh Joseph. Give us a little bit of backstory into the match that we are about to watch. So, voice, the floor is yours. What are we watching this week?
Oh, we are watching a great, it's basically like a house show. ECW didn't, at this time, they didn't really have like a televised show every week. They were still in the works of getting one. So this is like what they accumulated to a house show, and they ran stories on them. They recorded them and sent them out later. But this one was fantastic because this really brought together what Taz was capable of in a ring and what RVD was capable of in a ring. This is a grudge match between these two. There's been many matches that Taz had before this match in which he was choking people out. That's just what he did. That's how he finished his matches. He actually got to this would be, I believe, his fourth or fifth like character change. And if you remember when we spoke to Bill Alfonso, he talked about Taz and that he wasn't hitting on the certain characters he was trying, but the suplex machine Taz, that's what hit with the ECW crowd. They knew they had something with him. So in that, Taz started forming the Taz team. There was up and comers were in it. There was guys who were studying under him. There was guys who they were still bringing up in the ECW ranks with him. But he had a team around him. Him and Bill Alfonso were just amazing. But he also had a very villainous opponent, and that was Sabu. And that Sabu is actually RVD's tag team partner in ECW, and this rivalry between the three of them, actually 2-on-1, Sabu and RVD on Taz, this really built to some great matches, and this is one of them. This is one that you could have watched on a regular night of ECW if you had the chance. And RVD really shows you his true abilities in a ring, and Taz will show you exactly why he was the human suplex machine. He was the man to choke you out. Survive if I let you. That's what Taz was. And that's what this match is. The ending of it, I promise you, if you are a fan of wrestling, stick around. This is a great ending. And it's a fantastic match. We're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. You haven't steered me wrong in a match yet, so I'm really excited for this. And I want to go ahead and reiterate for you guys that might be just watching us live, because I said it at the top of the show, this is going to be on Peacock. So we are on Peacock checking this out. ECW Hardcore TV, Season 4, Episode 51, December 17th, 1996, 33 minutes, 17 seconds. One more time, ECW Hardcore TV on Peacock, Season 4, Episode 51, December 17th, 1996, 33 minutes, 17 seconds. So with that being said, I'm going to do our traditional countdown, and then we will get it started. And that starts in 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, here comes Team Taz.
Yes. They're all around him. I mean, look at him. He looks like a prize fighter.
Yeah,
Bill Alfonso.
Yeah, look at Bill Alfonso. He got the orange on
goatee. Too. Facial hair on Bill Alfonso always makes me laugh. It doesn't look like it belongs there.
It was awesome talking to that guy, man.
Yes, he was a fantastic talk. Definitely go check that out, fans. We spoke to an ECW legend. He's on your TV right now.
Yep, we sure did.
So wait, was this just a straight up singles match or some type? Really?
Nope.
Okay.
This is a straight up singles match, and this is like RVD's already in the ring. I mean, that's how they cut it. Like he was known, but he wasn't the RVD that we all know yet.
Yeah,
and this is one of the matches that pushed him to the edge of that.
I don't think I've ever seen RVD in that good of shape.
Oh yeah,
RVD was a specimen, bro.
Oh, I mean, like even when he even now today, like he may not look that fit, but he's still really agile today.
Oh, that's why you still see him wrestling. He's still pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not as fast, but I mean,
well, that's because he's really high.
Yeah.
He's not under a WWE contract.
But like, what was it that he did? I think it was like yoga or something like that. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
what he
yoga
did.
and then stuff like.
That's why even at his advanced age, he might not be able to go the way he could go back then, but he could still put on a match.
Oh yeah,
and he still does the chair split.
He still does the chair split. Yeah,
he was ahead of the game and ahead of his time with being
totally agree.
Yoga. Totally, I mean, he was
ahead of his time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he was also wasn't he a stunt double? Like before he got into wrestling, I believe I heard him talk about this.
It wouldn't surprise me that any pro wrestler was at one point a stunt double. Because I mean,
I'll look that up for the next watch along and give the fans.
Bill Alfonso, man.
Yeah, I loved how he would get in everybody's face and he was just the pest that you loved outside the ring with a whistle. Oh, here we go. Look at this stare down.
Match is underway.
House, you as a Taz fan are gonna love this beginning. Look at that.
Oh,
he drew the line. Boom.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Stepped right over, and then they go into it.
Oh,
beautiful takedown by Taz.
Yeah.
And this really
look at him starting to work. Look at that. Look at him already.
Yeah. This is Taz at mat technician times 1,000.
Jeez.
Look at him go, man.
And he's in great shape in this one.
Yes, he is.
Really just the ultimate body of a wrestler for mat
for sure.
Wrestling.
Look at him jumping over. Leapfrog back to
boom.
Oh,
first Tazplex of the night. And it's what is that? What did they call it when they hook him? The double hook suplex, belly to back suplex. Like, how do you? And RVD just took it. It's amazing.
Champ.
Yeah, exactly. And this crowd is chanting for Sabu right now.
I hear it. Yeah.
This is the first time Taz actually reacted to the crowd chanting for Sabu in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, he was the story was, look at this beautiful monkey flip.
Oh, monkey flip.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at this man.
Beautiful. And that's RVD when he was young. So amazing.
Yeah. Really ahead of his time. Oh, no. What? It looks like he's in Taz's head right now.
Oh, my.
Yep.
Oh,
I thought he was going to land on his feet. Jesus.
And look, no padding. There's absolutely no padding down there.
No padding. ECW. I hear it.
And then Alfonso just right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, this match you guys are gonna really enjoy the physicality of it.
This crowd. Every time we do these every week, it's. I always notice the crowd, man. It's just a cult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's ECW anywhere you went back in the day.
Sure. Yeah.
Team Taz all just lined up at the corner.
Watching their teacher.
I love the orange and black with the Taz. It just looks so good with him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was that? Like a pedigree-ish?
Yeah, like a lift up pedigree without the
without the drop on it.
Rolling Thunder.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh.
And it was so great, like to look back at these before RVD named all his moves, and now we know how famous the move names are.
Yeah. You got to wonder how beat up are RVD's ribs at this point.
Man.
Yeah, he. Not only that, I mean, he jumped from the top rope to the concrete in the back part of his ribs. Oh, beautiful flip.
Sunset flip. And a good break out of the sunset flip. Oh, took his head off.
It took it right off. Daz came out like a cannonball out of that corner. Alfonso's loving it. I love how they have the police walking around on the outside of the ring. These were rowdy crowds. I know we always talk about the crowds with ECW, but they were so rowdy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess on one hand, like you can't be too shocked when they were willing to do so much crazy things with barbed wire, glass, and whatever they could find.
Whatever. And like, it's crazy because like, it's just one of those things where like so many people are into it. You want to make it awesome for them every single time they come and see it. You know?
Yes. That's why there were so many crucifixions in ECW.
So was Taz like one of the first like real wrestlers to be signed to ECW? Or was he just?
No, they had some actual mat wrestlers also.
Okay.
But Taz was the one who was with them.
Championship Wrestling, right?
Yeah, Taz was the one who stuck with them. And, yeah.
A lot of other guys signed with like WCW, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, another thing, Grun, as this match continues, we said another suplex here. A lot of WCW's famous cruiserweight division came from ECW.
Right. Yeah. I know. It's Psychosis. You had Super Crazy. You had
Malenko.
Yeah.
Eddie. Chris Jericho.
There we go. Up and over.
When I first started watching WWE,
Northern Lights. That was a beautiful Northern Lights.
Yeah,
all the way up on his tippy toes.
I don't know what it is, but there is just nothing better than a great Northern Lights suplex.
Yeah, and Taz will give it to you.
Yeah,
agreed. A good Northern Lights suplex is always satisfying. You know who had one of the best Northern Lights suplexes that you probably don't even think about?
Who's that?
Alicia Fox.
Really?
Alicia Fox had one of
some of those out.
She had one of the cleanest Northern Lights suplexes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch back to that. At that point, I was totally.
Listen, I'm not saying she's a top-notch wrestler. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she has one of the prettiest Northern Lights suplexes I've ever seen. And I'm actually not being facetious. I'm being serious.
I'm good to check
like
out.
At this point, like we gotta. Everyone should go out of the way. Is like Alicia Fox. Really? Let me look that up.
Yep. You'll be surprised. We got chairs
introduced.
Oh, dang.
Okay, so now I get it. In ECW straight up wrestling matches, there's still no DQ.
Oh my god!
That's what I was talking about, House.
Yeah.
The Sabu chair throw. It wasn't he threw it sideways. Look at that.
Oh,
And this is completely legal, Grun. So
Oh
at any
God.
moment,
So ECW was like, yeah, it's a straight up wrestling match, but you can still use whatever the hell you want.
yep.
yeah, ECW.
All right. I don't
he
think there was
just
anyone more
blasted
innovative.
him.
Like I get that Sabu did a lot of crazy stuff with the chair, but it's like Rob Van Dam did a lot of stuff while holding the chair.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Here, it's
Taz
like-
is pissed. Taz is pissed.
That's what I was
think-
telling you about this match.
Yeah.
You can see Taz act and see right there.
Oh my God.
He just threw it right back into his face while he was laying on the ground.
Jesus.
Oh, like oof.
The
Oh.
Van Daminator.
Like
Oh, is he gonna get it? No.
Oh.
Alfonso's losing
man.
his mind. He doesn't understand what just happened.
Oh
But
my
you can't
God.
use a chair. It's a straight up wrestling match in ECW. Oof.
Folded him
Oh,
up like an accordion.
they're going. Yes. Yes. Wait a minute.
Is he getting it?
Taz mission.
He's trying to go for it. He's
Now
doesn't have
nobody
it
has
all the way.
broke
He doesn't
this
have all the
move.
leverage yet. Oh, what? He's got him up now. Yep. If he falls back, he's on the ropes, but I don't think that matters.
No, not
doesn't
in
matter.
ECW.
Oh. No.
Just like a python, man. Just
yeah, he's
holding
staying on
on.
him. He's staying on him.
And
It's not off.
like he's not letting it go either.
No.
No, he's not. Oh no, he's not. Jesus.
Even with that
Jesus.
leg sweep.
This is
he
Taz,
held
man.
on. Yeah.
This is Taz. This is the Taz I remember, man.
Ooh.
Oh, no, still no. Wait a minute, pinfall. Oh, wait.
Damn.
He still got it.
He kicked out,
Jesus
still
Christ.
has it. And RVD is now look, now he's getting that leg sunk in.
Hook might be the closest thing to what we see as a Taz today in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking
Is he out?
it
Is he out?
is
Is he out?
outrageous.
He's out.
It
That's
is outrageous that Taz never got a good run in WWE.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. I was so excited when he came over too. I was so excited. And why wouldn't you be? If you was somebody who was coming up watching ECW and you just watched a match like that, and you think this guy's coming to WWE, what's not to be excited about? I mean, look at that match. That was amazing.
He's a tough SOB. You would be everything that you want from in WWE. You want a guy that can take all the abuse and beatings that WWE is going to give you when you go into matches with big, bulky, meaty men.
Yeah. That was
Dude, you're
another.
right.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. That was another great match, voice. I mean, you're on a roll, man. That was great. You know, I love me some Taz. I also love me some RVD. I mean, this match, it wasn't long. It was a television match, but we got a lot out of that match for sure for what it was. And I just thought that it was great. And it really rounded out what ended up being a really great episode, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I knew as soon as I seen that match. I seen it before, but you know, I've seen so many damn ECW matches. It's kind of hard to remember them all. So when I seen that one come across, I knew us connecting over Taz and just our love for what he did for the company and what he continues to do for the company. And then our favorite, you know, RVD, who doesn't like RVD?
Great.
You know, I knew this would be a perfect one. And I'm just happy that it was Grun's second one with us, and you
That
got
was
to
awesome,
see
yeah.
the insanity. I mean, he hit Taz in the face twice with that chair in an
Yeah.
aggressive manner, and it really cemented the feud that Sabu, Taz, and RVD had. And I highly go back if you want to check them out. There's a great YouTube link for the actual saga of that. So I would advise go checking it out. It was great ECW moments.
Yeah, and you're giving us great ECW moments, man, as the educator of Extreme here on In Your House, man. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Call this a really great episode. Once again, guys, we appreciate you guys sliding through, catching us if you caught us on live, but then, of course, we'll be on the podcast version as well. This was just a mixture of Grun's Room and our ECW Watch Along, and I think it turned into a really great episode, which sparked a lot of great discussions. I mean, I always love when we have these big, longer discussions because we can get more granular and kind of break things down. And like, I just this is exactly what we got a chance to do with SmackDown, and because I wanted to. Because as I was watching it, I was like, man, I'm excited to talk about this episode of SmackDown. So I'm glad we were able to make it happen and put it all together. But we're going to wrap this one up right now, and I got to do that by giving my guys an opportunity to plug anything that they have to plug. I'm going to start with my man Grun. Where can they find you? What are you going to be doing? Where can the household follow you to see your streams, your gaming that you do, and of course your SmackDown preview show?
So you can follow me on Twitch at grunmeister.tv/grunmeister. Sir, it's where I do all my gaming. It's where I do Grun's Room SmackDown review preview. It's also where I stream my end of Mr. Voice's show.
My man, Voice, that's a good cue for you. Go on.
That is. So picking up where Grun threw me the ball, he is talking about our Monday Night Raw review show where me and Grun get into it about 3 subjects we would love to talk about, but the previous Raw. And we hope you join us. We love the talk. We love you guys out there. All of you that join us every Monday night, we do have a great time. Me and Grun really look forward to those days. Also, you can catch me on the Friday ECW Watch Alongs where me and House go back in time and we watch some ECW. Things that we love, things that made us really happy when we were kids. And, well, still as adults, I still love it. I still watch ECW at least once a week outside of the watch along. But you can catch me there, and you can catch me on the Sunday house parties where I give my opinions and my ideas of what I think about wrestling, and it's fun. Also, jump in if you like what we got to say. We got a Discord, the House Call Discord. It's a fun place. It's where you can catch us going live during wrestling. We have a lot of them. We don't really do the AEW one. There's some guys who jump in there every once in a while, but other than that, if it's WWE, you can catch us going live, talking there, and talking all we like to talk. And there's more things that are going to be coming to the Discord. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. So jump on now with us, because once it fills up, you know, who knows? We might have to charge you $200 million.
Yeah,
that's
you know, do you have that? Do you guys have that?
So
get in while you can.
Yeah, dump in now when it's cheap. It's free.
Yeah, exactly. Get in now. Most definitely. Go check out our Discord, guys. We're really getting that off the ground. It's great stuff, and really kind of just filters everything out, and it makes the discussion easier to follow. Whatever you want to talk about, we're there. We'll answer your questions to the best of our abilities and chat you guys up for sure. So go check out our Discord. But as for me, guys, you already know I'm going to be here doing my thing In Your House. And, you know, those Sunday house parties, we love them. We have fun with them. They're great. We get a great opportunity to get most, if not all, the crew on the show, and we just talk about wrestling and go back and forth. As you guys already heard, those Monday shows, Window Lickers, love them, great shows. Gives me something to look forward to as I'm getting excited and getting pumped to talk about Monday Night Raw. So definitely check them out and everything that they're doing. And I love it. I love that we have so much motion. We just had Hype do a smoke sesh, and
Yes.
he's puts those out sporadically. Most definitely, that's now available to listen on the podcast version. This past week we had Hype, and he hosted with the voice Josh Joseph, and they talked some wrestling. It was great, so most definitely check that out. Then on Wednesdays, you already know it's time for the Raw Deal with House and O'Neill, as myself and the amazing Annie O'Neill talk about all the happenings from Monday Night Raw, and it just is great. And I know we just did it, and I know the voice just talked about it, but Friday, the ECW Watch Alongs becoming highly anticipated by you guys out there in the podcast world, as you guys are downloading them pretty heavily. You guys seem to like them. I have been getting the feedback that you guys like the sound that comes with the on the podcast version. So it's not just us talking, we're actually talking over the happenings in the commentary. So that's
awesome.
staying. Yeah, that's staying. We're keeping that, and I'm glad that that's something that we're able to help. That helps you guys. It enhances the listening experience when you guys are like driving to work, or maybe you guys are working with your hands. You just can pop like a headphone in your ear when you're at work or something. This is how people listen to us, guys. Like, it's just however they can, they pop us in and they enjoy it. And I love that we can provide that little bit of escape for people. And, it's like driving to work, I'm anticipating work. Maybe I'll just throw on this podcast and listen to that for 15, 20, 25 minutes as I'm getting ready to go into this place. And then boom, pop yourself in your ears. If you don't have to listen to your asshole coworkers, pop them in, listen to what we're talking about. It's a lot better than listening to what your coworkers are talking about, for sure. So most definitely, we appreciate you guys coming through Grun's room. Check it out. He does our SmackDown show. Everybody on the team's awesome. We got a great team. I'll always say it. Best team in podcasting, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, and you're not going to change that. So, guys, you already know what it is. It's here. We are going to be here, and I'm going to be at Alakan House. That's on social media. But more importantly, it's at In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Everything that we do is there. Our clips, our shows, our interviews, some memes that we'll share, news that we'll share. It's all there. So go check it out. And guys, that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for Grunmeister, for the voice Josh Joseph, for Hypocrisy Jones, for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neill, and the world's most dangerous podcaster paragon, I am Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day, a great rest of your weekend. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.